Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Body Mind Healing. My name is Maria Sanchez. I am the author of the book Through the Storm, and my background is in holistic health, family practice, psychiatric mental health, and doctoral in nursing practice. The case for today is Reborn. Thank you, past. We cannot go back and change what we lived through. We cannot undo our decisions, erase our wounds, or return to the exact moment when everything could have been different. But that does not mean we are condemned to remain trapped in the past. We can always rise again. We can begin to write a new story, not from ignorance this time, but from experience, more awake, more aware, and more connected to the truth of who we are. Maybe the question is not, how do I change what happened? But rather, what was I meant to learn from it? Because everything has a reason and nothing happens in vain. Sometimes we cannot see the meaning while we are going through the experience, but with time, we discover that even the most difficult challenges carry a hidden lesson. Every fall can become a doorway, an opportunity to do better, to heal, to awaken, and to become more conscious. Every loss can open us to a greater understanding. Every stage, with its victories and its mistakes, has helped shape the person we are today. That is why we do not need to look at the past with fear, resentment, or guilt, but rather with gratitude. Yes, with gratitude. Because what we lived through did not come to destroy us. It came to awaken us. And some people have already recognized the purpose behind their experiences. Others are still learning how to decode the message. Yet, in one way or another, we have all learned, grown, and evolved through contrast. We have all arrived here with more awareness than we had before. What we call good or bad comes from the judgments of the ego, the mind, and the world that taught us how to measure life. But from a more spiritual perspective, everything serves a purpose. Everything teaches us. Everything contributes to the evolution of the soul. Because the soul does not grow and evolve in comfort. It grows through uncertainty, through trials, through challenges, through contrast, through goodbyes, through beginnings, and through endings. It is essential to remember that many of the things we fear never actually happen. Nevertheless, when we live in worry, anticipating tragedy, and fearing painful possibilities, we give our energy to fear. And wherever we place our attention, we send our power. Those repeated thoughts, charged with emotion, become seeds. They grow, take shape, and many times end up manifesting. Without realizing it, we begin participating in what we later call self-fulfilling prophecies. We need to be careful with what we say, feel, and think. We must be mindful of what we are planting. When something we feared actually happens, we often say, I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. I could feel it. But maybe it was not certainty written by destiny. Maybe it was the result of a silent programming born from fear. We spend days and hours feeding negative thoughts until our own energy begins to give them form. And perhaps that experience had to happen to teach us to become more aware of our inner power. Because even when it is difficult to understand, we are co-creators of our reality. So when we find ourselves facing a situation that causes us distress, the path is not to deny what we feel or run away from it. The path is to pause, breathe calmly, and create space for a clearer mind, choosing with greater awareness where we place our attention. We can understand and accept what is happening while also recognizing our part in it, taking responsibility for our co-creation, not to punish or blame ourselves, but to heal, release, and transform the process. From there, we can direct our energy toward what we truly want to create: peace, clarity, learning, love, solutions, and growth. And instead of fighting with what once was, we can allow ourselves to look our past with gratitude and say, "Thank you, past, for the opportunities you gave me throughout my existence. Thank you because through every stage, every choice, every fall, and every challenge, I arrived at this present moment. At every point in my life, I did the best. I did the best I could with the level of awareness, maturity, emotion, and spiritual understanding I had at the time. Not everything turned out the way I expected, but today I understand that many times I did not receive what I wanted, but what I needed to learn, mature, and evolve. I no longer judge myself for who I was. I no longer condemn myself for what I did not know, for what I did not yet understand, or for the decisions I made while I was still learning how to live, remember, and become conscious. To do so would be unfair to my own path and would deny the value of the lessons that helped me build the wisdom that now sustains me. Today, I honor what I have lived. I honor my faults, my awakenings, my mistakes, my silences, my battles, and my rebirths. Everything has had a purpose. Nothing has been lost in this human experience. Everything, in some way, has brought me here. Thank you, past, because from you, my present was born. And now, with a fuller consciousness, I am ready to continue my evolutionary process, my great awakening, and my return to the truest version of myself, the version that is light, love, and union with all. If this message speaks to you, my book Through the Storm goes deeper into the journey of healing, faith, nervous system survival, and returning to the self. You can find it on Amazon under Maria Piedad DMP. If you like this video, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.